Shelbourne coming right back into it then, and McCarthy's long ball towards Dully. And Costello off Conroy, and Dully with the volley. Phil Harrington had to be down smartly there. Good shot from Dully. Coyle's cross. Mark Rutherford. And spotting Kevin Brady on the overlap. Away by Murphy. In as far as Gary Howlett. On a delightful chip in to Gorman. And he has Coyle there in support. And that's a great goal for Shelbourne. 1-1 then. And a good comeback by the Reds. A lovely chip in there from Howlett. Gorman getting behind the defence. And a super shot from Coyle across Harrington's bows. McCarthy long, and a mistake by Conroy gives Gorman the chance. And Harrington again down smartly. He's had to make several good saves in this first half, Phil Harrington. Shells carrying the game to Cork City. And it's Mark Rutherford with the short corner kick to Howlett. Another cross with the outside of the foot, and Whelan with the free header. Cork City's defence a little shaky. And possibly Whelan should have done better there. Only half cleared by City. It falls to Costello. And again the shot on target. Not enough sting in it to trouble Harrington. And even as the match goes on, seats being installed behind the goal at the Ballybock end. Shelbourne come looking for the lead goal in this League Cup quarter-final. Rutherford against Daly. The cross to the far post. Gorman's header. And Costello with the volley, and another great save from Harrington. And City's defence at 6s and 7s. Costello again with the stunning shot. Rutherford getting behind the defence.
Good game.
Very astute play by Gorman there to spot Costello, and Harrington did well. Flood. Looking for Gorman, down for Dully. And that wasn't so far away. Just over that crossbar. Daly probing, looking for an opening for Cork City. Napier. McCabe. Forward for Caulfield. And the snapshot goes across Jody Byrne and finds the corner of the net. So Cork City, early in this second half, back in front again. It's 2-1. Flood surely thought he had him covered there, but a lovely little shot by Caulfield. And that's smart shooting. So can Shells come back a second time? Costello, back to Brady. Howlett. Past two challenges. Here's Rutherford, a tricky little player. He's got Brady outside him. The cross towards Howlett. Oh my word, what a volley by Gary Howlett. A super goal for Shelbourne, no more than they deserved. And a great build-up too. Rutherford passed two challenges. Brady again giving the width on the left. And what a volley here. A goal to grace any match. And it's 2-2. And again Brady coming up on the overlap. And this time Conroy, and Dully's there, it's in the net. But the linesman's flag is up. It's offside. Possibly a harsh decision there against Shells. Cross came in from Kevin Brady. McCarthy down to Howlett. Here's Brady again. He and Rutherford combining so well on the left. And Dully, and Bannon comes in, and that's a penalty. Brendan Short, the referee, had no doubts there. He was right on the spot. And Paul Bannon's challenge into the back of Pádraig Dully gives Shelbourne the chance to take the lead. Gorman against Harrington, and so easy for Shells. 3-2. They've had most of the game, and that penalty decision certainly looked a good one. Yes, there's Bannon through on the legs of Dully. Howlett. Dully, back to Costello. And again, not much power in the shot, but on target, and Harrington down to make the save. Declan Daly's free kick for Cork City. Falls to Barry, and back to Murphy. Oh, and it's through the hands of Jody Byrne. And a remarkable equaliser for Cork City. A rare goal from Liam Murphy. Possibly a deflection on the shot deceived Jody Byrne. Here it comes, yes, possibly a deflection there on the edge of the area, and it's 3-3. Brady's free kick. Off Coyle's head and superbly saved by Paul Bannon. Looked to be a certain goal there for Shelbourne. Paul Bannon, the one who saved Cork City. Barry, Murphy. Barry's on the run and McCabe has spotted him over the defence. Past Whelan. Oh, good save, Jody Byrne. That makes up for his error earlier in the game. A lovely shot from Dave Barry. And a good save. Good vision from McCabe to see Barry on the run. And Whelan caught square with McCarthy. A fine move by Cork City. Howlett to Gray. Back to Brown. And Keneally's header straight down to Howlett. And Bannon has put it in his own net, so it's 4-3 to Shells. Just 5 minutes to go in extra time, and Paul Bannon is the one who has broken the deadlock. Anguish for the Cork City player. There seemed little danger for their defence. The cross by Howlett, and Bannon putting it past Harrington. Derry City have been the Specialist League Cup team in recent years, but it was Shelbourne who had the first chance. Gary Haylock recently re-signed from Huddersfield Town, just past Dermot O'Neill's post. It took 27 minutes for the deadlock to be broken. Brian Flood there with a handball. A trifle harsh, the ball skidding up off the wet Brandywell surface. But from the free kick, a bit of Derry magic. Hanrahan leaves it for Stuart Gold. The deflection, and Jody Byrne, no chance. 1-0 then to City. A big crowd in attendance. Gold's free kick, the deflection, and Jody Byrne going the wrong way, couldn't change direction. But Shelbourne gave as much as they got, although it was Derry City who nearly made it 2 just before half-time. Mooney's cross, McCarthy with the attempted interception, and the crossbar intervening. Shelbourne had their best chance in the second half. Little push there on Dully, and it was Costello's cross towards the head of Haylock, cleared off the line. It was a game of much movement and invention, despite the wet conditions. But Derry City will be happy to have made it into the League Cup final for yet another chance to lift the trophy. That chance for Shelbourne again. Costello's cross, Haylock's header, and it was Stuart Gold clearing it away. The free kick from Neville. Nick Neville's header, and there's Dully with the chance, and Phil Harrington smartly down to stop that one. Shelbourne trying to keep pressure on at the top of the Premier Division. McCarthy winning that, and here's Mark Rutherford on loan from Birmingham City. Breaks for Dave Barry. And Jerry McCabe now with a chance to settle things down for Cork City. John Caulfield, faced by Mick Neville, and inside the challenges, and possibly the chance to shoot, and good defending there by Greg Costello to whip the ball away to Desi Gorman. Now here's Gary Howlett. Cross towards Dully, and it's coming from Mark Rutherford. And the first shot in anger this afternoon. A rising shot from the English lad over on loan. Morley laying it off for Dave Barry. The chip behind the defence. And there's Morley to Caulfield. And it's across the line. It's 1-0. A remarkable goal. However, did Cork City get that one in? It seemed that Jody Byrne and Peter Coyle had it well covered, but between them they lost it through Coyle's legs. Caulfield with the second touch, and Cork City take the lead after 22 minutes. Free kick there for Shelbourne. Foul by Declan Daly on Pádraig Dully. And Daly going into referee Wilf Wallace's notebook. Rutherford leaving it for Howlett towards the far post. Barry clearing. Falls to Kevin Brady. What a remarkable goal from Brady. The sides level. It seemed Harrington had it covered. Barry could only half clear it. And there was Brady with the half volley outside of the left foot and in off Harrington's hand. Cleared by Cork City. 7 minutes to the break. Here's Desi Gorman. And Harrington beaten again at this near post this time. It looked like he was waiting for the cross, and from the look on Desi Gorman's face there, that's what he intended. He had Pádraig Dully inside and whipped in the ball early, and Harrington, most unusual for him, caught at the near post. Cork City trying to get back before half-time. Dave Barry in there with Jody Byrne, and Byrne taking a knock. The free kick against Dave Barry for that challenge. In a game full of incidents so far. And here comes Shells with Mark Rutherford, and great running by Kevin Brady. Towards the head of Dully, unable to get that header on target. And there goes the half-time whistle. And it's Shelbourne who lead by 2-1. Gorman. Cleared by Howlett to Pádraig Dully. It's Declan Daly in close attendance for Cork City. And Bobby Brown taking over. Barry. And this is Declan Roach, a Dubliner signed by Cork City from Partick Thistle. And here's Jerry McCabe, another player who's arrived from Partick Thistle to help Cork City this season. Cross comes in, cleared by Shelbourne. Slack pass from Bobby Brown, though. And a chance for McCabe to get it in again. Mick Neville with the header this time. Roach. Forward and cleared by Mick Neville. Now here's Liam Murphy, past the challenge of Mark Rutherford. Bit of space opening up for Murphy. And a terrific shot, brilliantly saved by Jody Byrne. Excellent tip-over save, that one, as Cork City look for the equaliser. Still the pressure on Shelbourne. Roach. Cross towards Caulfield, and the header, really, that one with no power. And Jody Byrne able to settle it down. But here's that incident moments ago. Liam Murphy going on one of his rare forays upfield, and a terrific left foot shot, and Jody Byrne at his best. To goalkeeper Phil Harrington. Lots of movement in this game. Really great entertainment for the 2,500 people here. And here goes Mike Mellon. And what a great shot by Mellon! And Cork City have equalised. Their new signing, a player who joined them from Bristol. And here he goes on the run past Greg Costello, and a whipping shot past Jody Byrne to make it 2-2. And straight away Shelbourne ringing the changes. Mark Rutherford goes off, and on comes Gary Haylock, an old favourite here at Talca Park, on loan once more from Huddersfield Town, hoping to get his name on the score sheet. Yes, Haylock scored a lot of goals for Shelbourne on his 2 visits here before. But here come Cork City again, and it's Dave Barry. Haylock over with him, the deflection off Haylock, and the corner kick to Cork City. McCabe with it. Jody Byrne flaps at it, and there's Morley to make it 3-2. And 2 goals in 3 minutes for Cork City. But Jody Byrne came for this one and he couldn't hold it. And there was Morley to rifle it into the roof of the net. And Cork City could be on their way to their 3rd win of the season. Barry, lovely through ball, finding Caulfield. Now Mellon's on the run in the centre and he finds him, and that's a great goal for Cork. But the whistle is gone, the whistle is gone, it's been disallowed. Offside given against Mike Mellon, and that's really unlucky for Cork City. It must have been a very, very close decision indeed. Caulfield seemed to have measured the pass perfectly, and there was Mellon, but obviously he was just in an offside position. So Shelbourne could be 4-2 down. What can they do? Can they get back into the game? Brown. And this is Costello. Jerry McCabe across to tackle, and Costello riding that tackle well. And there's Caulfield too, deep in his own half, trying to keep Shells at bay for this last 12 or 13 minutes. Caulfield still arguing with the referee about that incident moments ago when Cork City seemed to have scored a good goal. Here's Caulfield. And Mick Neville. Long ball looking for Gorman. And there's Haylock, shot blocked, and there's Dully. And it's 3-3. And you have to feel sorry for Cork City on a day when they've played so much good football. Pat Morley gets booked for further arguing, but it's Shelbourne who've equalised. Gorman's header, Haylock causing all sorts of problems. It fell kindly for Dully, and it looks like the points will be shared. And away we go then at Tulka Park. Shelbourne attempt to go to the top of the Board Gosh League on their own tonight. Bray Wanderers, the opposition, in the striped shirts, playing from left to right in the first half. McKeever's header. And the first touch for Reynolds, back in the team after injury. Away by Mick Neville to Pádraig Dully. Mark Rutherford looking for Gary Haylock on the run, and it's Mick Doohan across to cover. As McCarthy takes the throw towards the head of Dully, and it falls for Haylock. And here's Dully with a chance in the first minute, and it's into the side netting, off the goalkeeper for the first corner of the game. Mark Rutherford and Greg Costello taking it. Brown with the cross towards the head of Dully, and away again by Bray. This time Alan Smith clearing the danger. Brown with the kick to the near post. Dully blocked by Bray Wanderers, and Rutherford with the shot off the crossbar. So 2 moments there when Shelbourne could have taken the lead. First Pádraig Dully almost squeezing it in at the far post, and then Mark Rutherford with the chance at the far post, but his shot cannoning off the crossbar. But here they are with the chance to break through Conor Best. Jason Byrne going for the run, covered by McCarthy. Costello, Rutherford, Brown. Dully trying to find space, straight back to Brown again, and now Brian Flood with the whole of the right side of the field to run into. Waiting for men to get into the box. The cross aimed towards Rutherford. Not cleared, straight to Dully. Played back for Howlett. And a great shot from Gary Howlett, superbly saved by Sean Ward and then cleared by Bray Wanderers. Gary Howlett, one of the hardest shots in League of Ireland football. Straight to Mick Neville. Rutherford tackled by Kearns and Coleman. And well played by McCarthy to Neville. Howlett back to Whelan. And he was forced to give it away under pressure from Conor Best, and it breaks for Paul Ennis. And the shot from Ennis tipped over by Jody Byrne. It all started when Anto Whelan was caught in possession under pressure from Conor Best, and when Paul Ennis had the chance, the shot almost deceived Jody Byrne, but he just managed to get it over the crossbar. So Jody Byrne keeping his goal intact He hasn't conceded a goal since the match against Cork City 5 games ago. Well over 7 hours of football, some record for the Shelbourne custodian. Shelbourne's build-up noticeably slower tonight than has been usual of late. Costello, though, kept going and blocked by Alan Smith for the corner kick to Shelbourne. McCarthy and Whelan joining the attack. Costello with the kick towards Howlett. An absolutely brilliant goal by Gary Howlett. Corner came in and he hit it from 23, 24 yards. Sean Ward had no chance. 1-0 to Shelbourne. And away we go for the second half. Shelbourne this time attacking the Drumcondra end. A goal to the good, thanks to that Gary Howlett goal after 32 minutes. But straight away it's Jason Byrne on the attack for Bray, and a chance for Jason Byrne, and he's taken down by Mick Neville. A penalty to Bray Wanderers. Jody Byrne, can he stop Mick Doohan's shot? McDoohan with the penalty, and saved by Jody Byrne. Much to the delight of the Shelbourne fans here in Talca Park. A great chance for Bray Wanderers goes a-begging. To be fair, the penalty by McDoohan wasn't firmly struck, and Jody Byrne comfortably got down to his left and made the save. Brian Flood's long ball over the top to Gary Haylock, who's been very quiet in this match so far. Well watched by the Bray defence. Brown's cross, 3 Bray players there, breaks for Rutherford, and the deflected shot goes in to give Shelbourne the cushion they've been looking for. Mark Rutherford with his 3rd goal in 2 games. All began with that long ball out of defence over the top to Gary Haylock, and when the cross came in from Bobby Brown, it broke for Rutherford, and his deflected shot beat Sean Ward. So 2-0 then, and Shelbourne surely going to the top of the League of Ireland on their own tonight. Howlett to Dully again, trying to turn away from Alan Smith, and the free kick going Bray's way. Whelan beats Conor Best in the air. Reynolds up to Paul Ennis. Jason Byrne held back by Tony McCarthy, and no free kick given. And Dully onside this time, and only Sean Ward to beat. Now can he finish? He can, and it's 3-0 to Shelbourne. A delightful goal, but you have to ask the question, how come no free kick to Bray Wanderers before Shelbourne had the chance for that goal? Jason Byrne seemed to be upended, but when the ball broke through, there was Dully all on his own, only the goalkeeper to beat. Simple, isn't it, when you're at the top of the league? 3-0, and Shelbourne looking very good on this night when they're going to put pressure back on Derry City. This is Stuart Gold taking it out of defence for Derry. The long ball looking for Speake over the head of Whelan, and Speake. 1-0 to Derry, 32 minutes gone, and they've broken the deadlock. Huge crowd at the Brandywell, delighted with that chance. Brilliantly taken by Jonathan Speake. There didn't seem to be much danger from that long through ball, but Whelan missed it, and Speake got on the blind side of Tony McCarthy, and it's a vital breakthrough. Bobby Brown on the run for Shelbourne, jinking past the challengers. It falls for Roach, and that wasn't very far away as Shelbourne come looking for the equaliser. They've looked the better team early in this second half. Roy Coyle ringing the changes, and the Derry City faithful silenced at the Brandywell. Tony Byrne's long kick, Brown again. Roach, who just joined Shelbourne from Cork City. Robbed this time. Here's the substitute for Derry, Ian McInerney. Roach with the clearance, and Whelan trying to find Mark Rutherford, intercepted by Greg Kearney. The chance for the shot, and rising above Jody Byrne's crossbar. It's been a great match so far. Shelbourne possibly the better side though, and they're not afraid to come forward looking for the equaliser. Here's Brown into the centre to Dully, and Brown's in support. The shot from Bobby Brown, deflected wide, a corner kick to Shelbourne. Nearest they've come in this second half. Great work by Brown once more, and Dully held the ball up superbly under pressure from Paul Curran, and there was Brown in support and deflecting off Greg Kearney. The long throw from Tony McCarthy, Dully going in there, and it's Paul Mooney who wins the challenge, and the corner kick to Shelbourne. Dully on the near post, Bobby Brown the taker, and Whelan coming in at the far, and it's 1-1. A superb equaliser by Paul Whelan. Shelbourne right back on terms, and deservedly so. Brandywell is quiet. Desi Gorman, he's taken a knock during that incident, but what a goal by Paul Whelan. But you have to ask, where was the Derry cover? Nobody at the far post, and the game is tied up. Long ball over the top, running to Des Gorman, and a good first time cross, putting the Derry City defence under pressure. Cody was there, and here's Rutherford, and Derry City so fortunate there, and Dermot O'Neill must be wondering if this might be his lucky night. A superb bit of play by Shelbourne. It was only half cleared. Mark Rutherford with a beautiful bit of skill here, got around Mooney's challenge, and the volley straight off the crossbar and into O'Neill's hands. John Cody's long free kick, headed on by O'Brien. Coyle can't clear it. And the free kick goes Shelbourne's way, offside against Derry City. Mick Neville looking for Desi Gorman. Breaks for Bobby Brown, and the header off Pádraig Dully. And that wasn't so far away either. More a shot by Brown than a cross, but Dully got the head to it, and it could have gone anywhere. Over 7,000 at the Brandywell, biggest crowd of the season. And it's 1-1, all to play for, and Cody probing for Derry City. McInerney cleared by the Shells defence, and a good clearance too, finds Gorman in space. Came on for Haylock, and now he finds Mark Rutherford, and Gorman once more. Little cross towards Dully, and what a finish by the big fella for Shelbourne. A superb strike by Paul Dully. The little angled ball in from Desi Gorman, and the Shelbourne supporters happy that they came all this way to see a goal like that. Shells take the lead, courtesy of Paul Dully. A beautiful deflection. It's 2-1. So, that puts it down to Derry City, and they'll come back, you can be sure. John Cody forward to McInerney, and robbed by Whelan, who was looking for his keeper but decided on the touchline. Derry City keeping on the pressure. Hanrahan faced by Peter Coyle, and Coyle, safety of the touchline once more. A throw in to Derry City. Hanrahan back to Cody. Good cross. Byrne came for it, didn't get it. Speake had a half chance. Derry keep the pressure on. Little nudge by Speake, play on. High kicking from Whelan and cleared by Mark Rutherford. All very scrappy in there. Derry not really getting a chance, but keeping the pressure on Shelbourne. Hanrahan, Cody, combine well on the left, these two. And Hanrahan's cross, McCarthy with the header, and it's Costello this time for Shelbourne. Up to halfway and relative safety. But here was that moment where Jody Byrne came and didn't quite get the ball, but it wouldn't break kindly for a Derry City player. And then Whelan came in with this high challenge that might have been a penalty kick, but not given, and it stays at 2-1. Jonathan Speake But there was pushing there by Costello, and the free kick goes to Derry City. Jody Byrne marshalling the wall. 4 men in it, and 2 red shirts there too, I see. And here's the shot from Gold, and up it comes, and off the bar, and it's there. Donal O'Brien. It's 2-2, and Derry City back into the match. Just 6 minutes to go. And it was Stuart Gould's free kick, whipped up off the pitch there onto the crossbar, and O'Brien just happened to be running in where the ball fell. So 2 moments in this game, one where Rutherford struck the bar and straight to Dermot O'Neill, and that one there where Donal O'Brien was right in the right place to capitalise when the ball came back off the Shelbourne post. All honours even then, and just 5 minutes to go. Can either side fashion the breakthrough in these closing minutes? Mark Rutherford with the shot, but straight at Dermot O'Neill. A remarkable defensive record for Derry City this year. This a rare game for them indeed to have conceded 2 goals. And here they come again. It's Speak, tackled by Roach. Free kick given. Speak down, took a knock there, and Derry get on with it quickly. And here's Mooney. He tries the long one and he finds the net. A remarkable goal. Just 4 minutes to go. And it's jubilation time in Brandywell. 7,000 home supporters delighted with that goal. And why not? 35 yards. Paul Mooney caught Jody Byrne off his line and found the corner of the net. One of the best League of Ireland games seen at Brandywell for some time. And Shelbourne coming back, trying to find a late equaliser. Brown with the corner kick. Pumped into the middle and cleared by Derry. And to Jonathan Speak. Ian McInerney going on the run for him. And it's Coyle back covering for Shelbourne. Derry know if they can keep the scoreline like this, they'll go to the top of the Bord Gáis League tonight. And there goes the final whistle indeed. A remarkable comeback by the Candy Stripes. Paul Mooney takes the salute of the Brandywell faithful. His goal just 4 minutes from the end. Enough to give Derry City the points in a great game. A wonderful advertisement for the league. The final score, Derry City 3, Shelbourne 2. Two contenders for goal of the season in this short clip of League of Ireland action. The first from Shelbourne at the RDS last Sunday. A lovely 1-2 between Brown and Coyle. And then Coyle with the long crossfield ball to Mark Rutherford, inch perfect. Rutherford's done everything right since he joined Shelbourne from Birmingham City earlier in the season. And he went round Brazel, and the cross was inch perfect for Gary Haylock to give Shells the lead after just 12 minutes. Indeed, they could have been 2 or 3 up at that stage. They made a great start, did the Reds. But fair play to Shamrock Rovers, they came back late in the first half. It was Barry O'Connor who won the throw-in from Nick Neville. And a player who's just arrived back at Shamrock Rovers, Paul Doolan, from Portadown, was instrumental in the build-up. The 1-2 there with Gino Brazel, his cross also inch perfect, and Dave Connell at the far post, the free header, lots of Shelbourne bodies, but it's 1-1, and that was the way it was at half-time. But in the second half, Shelbourne got the luck that they deserved. A corner only half punched away by Dave Henderson, and Shells kept up the pressure. Again, it was Peter Coyle and Mark Rutherford involved in the build-up. And when Coyle's ball came into the centre, Gorman helped it on. Sean Byrne couldn't clear, and it bounced off the chest of Haylock to give him his 8th goal of the season. A valuable strike for the Reds that kept them top of the table. Haylock then in great form, but so were Derry City up in Oriel Park. And this is contender 2 for goal of the season. A magnificent strike by Greg Kearney coming up. The long ball from Gold, played back into the path of John Cody. All first touch as Speak heads it down. And there's Greg Kearney with a 20-yard drive that had Alan O'Neill flapping. And it gave Derry City the lead in the first half, which they dominated at Oriel Park. But back came Dundalk, and it just goes to prove it doesn't matter how you score, it's how many you do. And Derry City couldn't clear. The chance fell for Hanrahan, and there was McNulty, the man who gave them the title last season, to make it 1-1, and that was how it finished.
And those matches resulted in Derry City and Shelbourne drawing level at the top of the Premier Division, with Dundalk 3 points behind in third place. So the meeting of Shelbourne and Dundalk last night in Tolka Park was vital for both sides. The highlights of that game now. We pick up the action in the first half with Shells playing from left to right. Birmingham's Mark Rutherford, who's given Shells much-needed width and penetration on the left wing, was instrumental in setting up this attack, which caused bother for the Dundalk defence. And it was Declan Roach who'd pushed up from midfield to provide the shot, which very nearly beat Alan O'Neill. Roach had earlier figured in a 4-0 Cork City win over the defending champions Dundalk. Dave Mackey, Dundalk's full-back, then showed his penchant for attack, and with this tasty left-footed drive, which Jody Byrne did very well to hold on to. Mackey, a former Shells player, of course. Then enter Gary Howlett, an FA Cup finalist with Brighton back in 1983. His venomous drive probably deserved a greater reward. Shells very much the dominant side. Then Bobby Brown's free kick, glanced on by Roach, and the diving Tony McCarthy seeing his header thunder off the top of the crossbar, with the rear guard again looking rather fragile. 31 minutes into the first half, and the evergreen Terry Everston instigating a real moment of danger for the Reds. His angle ball found McCavanagh on the right wing. A good dribble, taking it past defenders. An inch-perfect cross, and Everston denied by a combination of McCarthy and Anto Whelan, with the latter hooking it off the goal line. Everston continuing to torment. And indeed a very good return to league activity for Mick Kavanagh, his first match in the league since September it was. Still on the balance of clear-cut chances, Shells appear to have an edge. And then watch as this intercepted pass appeared to be handled by Brian Irwin, and when it reached Peter Hanrahan, the linesman on the far side was busy waving the offside flag. Didn't count. 18 league goals last season for Hanrahan, a leaner time this time around. Into the second half of a most compelling tie, watched by about 6,000 fans. Mark Rutherford again the provider, a weak-headed clearance, and Howlett waits poised, but the strike failed to match his earlier much more impressive effort. Porrick Dully introduced at this stage in place of Bobby Brown, as Shells pressed hard for the opening goal. Rutherford and Haylock combine on the edge of the penalty area, but it's the champions who break purposefully forward. As Neville lost possession, Irwin and Hanrahan looked composed and decisive. Good work by Brian Irwin, and a confident strike by Peter Hanrahan. Just watch for this, one of the best goals of the season so far. Picked his spot delightfully, and the champions lead by 1-0. Shells in a complete dither. Hanrahan afforded far too much space, many red bodies behind the ball, as you see from the replay again. But notice how they held their nerve. A good run forward. Brian Irwin very much in the thick of the action, rounded Jody Byrne, held his feet, had the vision then to pick out Hanrahan unmarked in the penalty area, and that's his 4th league goal of the season. Well, the onus now very firmly on Shelbourne to salvage something from a match to which they had contributed handsomely. Rutherford promising so much, and the steely Mick Neville drawing the blushes from Alan O'Neill. Just watch. Neville drawing up from his left-back position. How about this for a shot? Getting by the cover of Alan O'Neill. Celebration time for the Reds, who deserve to be on terms. The Shells captain, 3rd goal of the year. Watched in replay, however, and in O'Neill's defence, there was a quite vicious swerve on this on a cold and chilly night, and one that Alan O'Neill won't want to watch again. 1-1. Celebration time for Neville, but then who'd be a goalkeeper? After a useful build-up by the powerful defending champions, Porrick Dully then set about on an ambitious run. Taking it by Gino Lawless and Ronnie Murphy, bringing Desi Gorman into the equation. But the end product failing to yield any dividend. He was suspended indeed last week for that match at the RDS, which Shells won, of course, by 2-1, and it certainly gives the side a great deal of commitment. And he was in again minutes later, getting onto the end of Mick Neville's long pass. A thumping shot deflected by O'Neill. Good-spirited game and an excellent advert for League of Ireland football. Both sides went all out for a winner. Shells piled on the pressure, but as Mick Neville, the team captain, pressed forward once again, his slack pass was intercepted, cleared out of defence, and then a combination of Tom McNulty and Peter Hanrahan conspired to set up a chance which saw the Scot McNulty make a burst through the centre. He appeared to be impeded by Declan Roach and ended up shooting wide of Jody Byrne's goal. 1-1 the final score, and a right good match there. So Shells on top, having played a game more than Derry City, with Dundalk back in third place, 3 points adrift. Tomorrow Derry City have the chance to keep up the pressure if they can beat fast improving Galway United in the Brandywell. That match is a 3:30 kick-off, while all the other games start at 2:30. The side from the Munster Senior League were put under early pressure by Shells. Peter Coyle's ambitious pass sought out Haylock. Neat control and footwork by the Huddersfield striker. And watch for the intervention of Declan Roach, who set up Dully, whose shot was well stopped by Eamon Lynch. But Mark Rutherford's decisive angle drive finally breached the cover. Just 12 minutes gone and the league leaders in front already. Corinthians were again in trouble from this free kick by Gary Howlett. Tony McCarthy was his target, but it came off Burke, who then placed Haylock to claim goal number 2. Shells against either Sligo or Derry in the second round.
Howlett. Forward for Rutherford, and the keeper's left his line. Rutherford shoots, it's in the net! Well, the net seemed to bulge, but Michael Caulfield says no. And the game continues. Well, this is an indication of how the eye can deceive. Mark Rutherford spotting Sean Ward off his line, but look, this is actually great defending by McDoohan off the crossbar, and it was he who caused the net to ripple. Played back very deep to Howlett. Costello. Rutherford. Costello again. And Rutherford. Howlett. Dully. And Haylock. And Whelan! And they finally effect the breakthrough. Shelbourne pushing men forward. And eventually the ball played in from the right by Haylock. And Anto Whelan was not going to be denied from that range. 32 minutes gone and Shelbourne in front. Free kick taken by Coleman. And that was a gilt-edged opportunity to equalise for Bray. In came Alan Smith, but put it high and wide. Judge. Helped on to Coleman. Headed away by Whelan. Doohan unable to control it, and McKeever too. Haylock, rolled into the path of Dully. A lovely ball it was. And here's Porrick Dully. And Dully finishes it off. Superb goal, which wraps up the points in the final minute for Shelbourne. An absolutely brilliant ball delivered into the path of Porrick Dully, who timed his run to perfection and picked his spot just wide of Ward, in off the upright. Bray 0, Shelbourne 2, and that's another valuable victory, certain now, with the game in added time. Michael Caulfield blows his whistle, and that's the final score.
Reminder that next Sunday here the Carlisle Rounds, the Runners take on Galway United in the half.
Brandywell hasn't been kind to Shelbourne this season here in the white shirts, but their excellent recent form meant they travelled more in expectation than hope. As it transpired, they dominated a match which didn't quite get up to its billing. The line to Whelan's header had Dermot O'Neill scampering. Shelbourne lost twice in Brandywell already this season. Today's encounter found Derry lacking in confidence and just that yard slower than their rivals. Paul Carroll's back pass only found Declan Roach. Once again, O'Neill was the saviour. 9 minutes into the second half, it was Mark Rutherford's headed pass which caught the Derry defence square. Gary Haylock, just a man to profit in that situation, as he easily beat the advance of O'Neill with his 13th goal of the season, his second in this year's cup. Stuart Dawes and Paul Kern were caught square as Haylock's pace over that first 10 yards gave him the easiest of chances. Indeed, he could have boosted his tally twice before the end. First it was Peter Coyle here, whose cross gave the Englishman a free header. Best from O'Neill required again. Derry City supporters stunned into silence as their team headed for yet another defeat, which will virtually end their season. Too many Derry passes went astray, and Shelbourne had just decided to punish that kind of slack play. Declan Roach it was who set up Haylock one more time. If it wasn't for O'Neill, Shells might have had 3 or 4. Haylock's frustration understandable, but at the game's only goal. Red Davis shows his feelings as Shelbourne more than made up for their league defeat here in December, and their season continues on two fronts as they chase an elusive double. It's right, but it's gone in the first half, and it's Big Neville with his free kick just inside his own half of the field. Pumped in towards Declan Roach, glancing header on, that's for Taylor, but it's not going to count. Shelbourne delight as it turns to disappointment. The referee clearly spotting an offside. Watching again replay here. Well directed into Roach, and Taylor practiced marginally offside, and the score doesn't count. Tom Conway. The Sligo side playing some enterprising football in these opening minutes. Hallett easily dispossessing him. And Gary Haylock again. The Huddersfield player who's on loan here to Shelbourne. Taking it around Conway. Oh, that was just on forward and tipped over brilliantly by Brujos. Almost an own goal for Sligo. And really was set up delightfully on the right-hand side by this very good incisive run. And Gorman was grateful to see his goalkeeper's agility. Rutherford. Won by Gavin Dykes. Now McGee, some lovely touches from the ageless Paul McGee. Cameron for Rooney. Nice ball inside for Gorman. Oh, goalkeeper did well. Jody Byrne producing a fine save. Well, stretching out the right boot that time to deny the Sligo midfield player. Watch it again as Rooney and Cameron were involved. A good incisive ball through the centre. And Gorman did well to beat the cover. So it remains scores. Now Mark Rutherford coming from City Park. Who's given it away to Paul McGee. And with the man up here in overlapping position, that's McDonald, headed away by Anto Whelan. Recovered by Conway. Struck. Oh, that one came back off Byrne. Now Roach. Good pass forward here by Peter Coyle. Conway trying to get in the challenge. Good turn. Good defending by Ray O'Halloran with Haylock lurking at the near post. Some good action swinging from either end of the field. And this is another fine run by Peter Coyle, the right back, and the central defender got in, got a good challenge. McNeville's free kick. Again seeking out the head of Haylock. Won by Gavin Dykes instead for Sligo Rovers. Conway. The defence is the pressure. Haylock again swinging at that one. Not so near and yet so far. They've had the lion's share of the chances in this match. Shelbourne. But the league leaders unable to get the lead goal. Aaron. Gorman. Now Conway pumping one forward. Sends it out from McDonald, however. Costello prodding it forward. Declan Roach. Already seen the ground activity this season with Cork City, of course. Now Rutherford. A quiet match so far. Mark Rutherford. Good ball through the centre. This is one for McCarthy. Oh, well struck. Brilliantly saved by Brujos. Well, Brujos had a spell here at Stoker Park with Shelbourne in the past, but that was a magnificent save. Expertly set up by Howlett. And McCarthy came onto it superbly. McCarthy once more. Whelan nodding it on. Haylock. Oh, how did that one stay out? Well, the Sligo Rovers goal leaving a charmed existence. It really is quite amazing that there are still no goals in this match. A long throw expert again, McCarthy, putting the Sligo defence in some trouble, and Haylock nearly needed a touch. Egan, seeking out the head of McGee. It's well one back there by McDonald. Cameron, who easily brushed aside. Neville. Oh, great save again by Brujos. Well, it may well be that that shot would have gone to the top of the crossbar, but it was an expertly hit shot by Neville. Coyle. Now McBurn in the match, the last few minutes in place of Bobby Brown. Holding up for Coyle to come onto. Again, posing from consternation, this is Howlett. Well, he never really caught it properly. In fairness to him, it seemed to bobble around a bit. Again, good supply of the ball coming in from Coyle, and Howlett just getting under the ball. It's Cameron. Volleyed forward nicely. Oh, this by Anto Whelan, Paul McGee's in the air. Edge of the penalty area. Oh, what's he taken? McGee staying on his feet. Oh, he's put it wide. Oh, inexplicably. Oh, this was a great run through by Paul McGee. Whelan almost conceding the penalty. McGee, in fairness to him, staying on his feet. But he's missed a glorious chance. So, free kick. Very late in the match now for Shelbourne. Pumped forward. Met by Roach. Oh, a little bit of consternation again, and Brujos produces the save. And somehow it remains scoreless. Make a break time for Derry City. Shelbourne kick off, playing left to right in the red. Hutton beginning the third, and an early ball played for Peter Hutton. Oh, it's going to be a sensational opener. Penalty's been awarded. The challenge of the goalkeeper, Jody Byrne, on Peter Hutton as he made his way through. And in the opening seconds of this game, Derry City have a penalty. It all began with Carlisle's early ball to Hutton. And Hutton looking at a 1-2, got himself into the perfect space. Jody Byrne slipped out of his goal, and that challenge is judged a bit of foul by Pat Kelly referee. It's a penalty to Derry City. And Jody Byrne has been sent off. A sensational beginning to this match. It was judged to have been a professional foul, deliberately preventing a goal-scoring opportunity. And the referee, if he sees it like that and calls it like that, is quite entitled to send the man off. The man in question is the Shelbourne goalkeeper, Jody Byrne, and he goes. And the man who takes his place and must first of all face a penalty kick is none other than Shelbourne's top scorer, Gary Haylock. A sensational opening at Stoker Park, and Haylock very nearly saved it. Well, they'll talk about that again and again and again. Pat Kelly saw this as a deliberate foul by Jody Byrne on Peter Hutton, and therefore he had to be sent off. Throw by Coyle, and now Kearney to get it away. Now it's Howlett. This has speed. Hanahan going through the middle. That's late inside for him. Joe Hanahan against Haylock. Haylock! 8 minutes on the watch, and Joe Hanahan is in a bad enough season with only 3 goals so far. Notches number 4 and put Shelbourne 2 goals behind. And it was always to be favoured against the standing goalkeeper. So they have open support for Shells now. Half time approaching. They held it to 2, those opening goals in the first 8 minutes of the match. Rolled out for McNeville, carrying off Peter Hutton, and reaching Greg Costello. Howlett. And Neville. In goes Gully. O'Neill lost it and got it in the second attempt. Really winning it back for Derry. No offside here. Speak against Whelan. Speak on his own. Oh, the post saved Shelbourne. Jonathan Speak and no support. We'll have a look at that in a moment. But the attack is nowhere yet. And eventually Curry and Howlett and Brown finally. And the frustration pouring over on John Curry. Receiving a yellow card for that. The protest continued. But what was that from effort from Jonathan Speak? Nobody in close support. He had to do it all on his own. And with Haylock beaten, it was the post that came to Ball trying through the speak, he's not offside. Here's Johnny Speak, and that's Johnny wrapped it up for Derry City. If there was ever much doubt about it, with 11 men playing 9, finally they beat the offside trap, and Paul Carlisle's perceptive ball into the path of Johnny Speak is finished with his 12th goal of the season. Shelbourne nil, Derry City 3, and the match that Derry had to win to keep going in this championship. Now Carlisle, and this time he's talking McCann on the far side, and McCann won't score. Oh, Martin McCann scored his very first goal for Derry City, and that's 4-0. McCann again in the seat of the most perceptive ball from Carlisle. Makes no mistake, brilliant control, brilliant finish, and even a regular keeper would have been early with that one. Well, it's hardly surprising, they've seen enough. Shelbourne's worst defeat of the season about to be concluded. The circumstances controversial, the 9 men couldn't hold out. Well, Carlisle didn't want to keep it in. Carlisle now facing Neville, oh, it's Paul Carlisle, and he's got number 5. Well, certainly his performance has earned him that success. For once, not the provider, but the finisher. Doing well to keep it in the first place, that long crossfield ball, and then ball the resistance simply crumbled before him, and Paul Carlisle was there to finish off number 5.
38-year-old Fred Davis untroubled so far. It's come off best. Some problems here. Well struck by Mark Rutherford. Robbie Best who created the opening effectively for Mark Rutherford. Bows pressing forward, looking for the lead goal. They've had a lot of the play in the opening half. That's Alan Byrne. Oh, missed by Fred Davis, and Paul Byrne wasn't too far away from making a decent connection. First real chance falling Bowes' way. Rowan. Flot. Shell's in some trouble here. This is Tilson. Oh, a smashing goal by Dave Tilson. Well, he scored the 2, of course, in Dundalk 3 weeks ago in the last round of the Cup. And Fred Davis, I think, will wonder how that one managed to get past him. It was a really stinging shot by Dave Tilson. But the defence effectively caught flat-footed after this ball was played in deep. Beyond McCarthy and Neville, Tilson ran into the penalty area and a smashing shot and a fine goal. Rutherford. Easily cut out by Tommy Byrne. Good left back, this fellow. Now Lee King has made a good diagonal run across to take up a left wing position. Taking it round McCarthy. Oh, a very good shot from Lee King. Not too far away at all from being a second Bowes goal. Right, flood here for a Shell side pressing forward. Good deal more now in this second half. Here's Dolly. All those causes a bit of consternation. This is a very good run for Porrick Dolly. Angle getting tight for him. Connolly did well, spread himself decisively. And so it's going to be a Shell's corner kick. Costello. Missed completely inside there. And in the end, it's gone by for a goal kick. Well, that last run by Dolly certainly was most impressive. He found an awful lot of space down that left-hand side. Beat the challenge of Donald Brohan initially, and then stole into the penalty area. Angle getting tight for him, but really it should have been 1-1. Peter Coyle, former Limerick City player, of course. Again, applying some pressure. And Robbie Best putting his goalkeeper in real trouble. John Connolly, the under-21 goalkeeper. Rutherford's corner kick. That's in there by... Oh, it's a gun off the foot of the post there from Desi Gorman. Could so easily, indeed should have been, the levelling up score. Rutherford struck it sweetly. Gorman got a touch onto it, and just watch as it comes off the foot of the upright. Shell certainly pressing forward time and again in this second half, and they've looked the more threatening. Flood here. Rutherford. And the referee's going across, and he's going to have a word for that challenge with Donald Brohan, and more than a word indeed. Challenge was very high on Mark Rutherford, the Birmingham City player, and that's a booking for young Donald Brohan. Mick Neville looking a good deal happier from time to time back in his more accustomed centre-back position, having played so much of the season, of course, back at left-back. Trotted nicely in there. That's Don Howlett. Sides on level terms. Gary Howlett, who played in the Cup final of 1983 with Brighton, profiting from this long ball through the centre, and credit Desi Gorman with a lovely flick down, and it's well dispatched by Howlett. So now who's it to be to make it through to the semi-finals? Relentless pressure going in on the Bowes back four, and the referee going back in there having a word with Donald Brohan and with Robbie Best. Connolly preparing his wall. Costello has shown that's a yellow card for Pat Fenlon. But this has been going on now for about 30 seconds as the referee's been trying to push the wall back the requisite distance. Neville skips over the ball. Interesting variation here. This is for Howlett to strike, and tipped over by Connolly. Well, Howlett, who got the goal, of course, was the one who smacked in that shot, and Connolly was equal to it.
Shelbourne had a justifiable penalty claim after 7 minutes as Peter Coyle's quick throw-in found Pádraig Dully, and Robbie Best's challenge looked clumsy at least. Referee Ollie Cooney wasn't impressed. Penalties have surely been awarded for less. Precious few chances were created in the opening half, both sides using the offside trap. But Pat Fenlon's wayward pass allowed Desi Gorman to create the opening for Dully, and while his shot evaded John Connolly, it also missed the target. Dully knew he should have done better. Bohemians fashioned the breakthrough via Route 1. John Connolly's booming clearance, helped on by Byrne and Joe Lawless, putting Mick Neville under pressure, and Dave Tilson was there to capitalise with 36 minutes gone. An unfamiliar error by Mick Neville. Tilson's 4th cup goal means he leads the race for the sponsor's prize of £1,000 for the top cup marksman in '92. His ability to seize on half chances in Bohemians' current run have been quite remarkable. For the second time in this tie, Shelbourne were behind, and it was Gary Howlett's prompting that put Gorman through. But Best's tackle was outstanding and was just one of the reasons for his being named man of the match. That moment lifted Bow's morale in a game played in the finest spirit throughout. The pace of the game never relented in the second half, both sides having goals disallowed. First, Lee King's cross-come shot nearly gave Pat Fenlon and Bohemians a second goal, but he was marginally offside. His celebrations short-lived. And then real controversy as Howlett's free kick found Robbie Best wanting for once, and it was Gary Haylock who beat John Connolly to the loose ball for what seemed to be a perfectly good goal. But the commandment, "Thou shalt not touch the goalkeeper," was invoked, and all bets were off as Shelbourne kept up their search for an equaliser. It's hard enough for forwards to score these days, but the protection of goalkeepers continues. From the resulting free kick, Connolly showed his real worth as Howlett again made the opening, this time for Dully, and his shot looked goal-bound until Ireland's under-21 goalkeeper produced an excellent save, much appreciated by Pat Fenlon and Donald Broghan. One got the feeling that Shelbourne just weren't going to score, and despite Gary Howlett's cross and Haylock's almost inch-perfect header, there was no beating John Connolly on a night when his initials might have tempted him to walk on water. A great night then for Bohemians, who advanced to the semi-final.
We've had some tremendous games in the league, the likes of Derry away, we got beat, which was a strange one to stick in your mind. You played for 90 minutes and it taught us a lesson that night, that you can't take anything for granted, even though you're 2-1 up. And tremendous strike for their third goal. So very disappointing at the time, but maybe there was no harm in the long run.
Here in Talca Park, Friday nights have been the in thing, and we've seen some marvellous goals here. I can remember that one by Gary Howlett against Bray.
Gary struck very, very well, and tremendous goal, and he set us up right for the night. I remember Greg Costello out in Bray stooping low to score a header near the end of the game. I remember Cork City 3-3 draw, tremendous game. I mean, there was a man came to me afterwards and said, you know, I haven't watched the game for 20 years, and he actually waited to come and see us after and say, I've never seen it like that in a long, long time. Very entertained, and I said I'll be back again. And it's nice when you hear something like that, and that's a credit to the players, really.
Another match that comes to my mind is the game against Dundalk here, the last time you met them, the 1-1 draw.
Yeah, another good game. Dundalk went ahead. We were lucky we got back into the game. Mick Neville took a great shot. Bit fortunate we got back in, and then we looked as if we were going to go and win it. But then the last minute, Tom McNulty broke away, and put the ball wide. So,
But it hasn't been just the team who've made this happen. There's been a great backroom team here in Shelbourne too, hasn't there?
that's tremendous. Obviously, Jim McLaughlin will be mentioned because Jim has come in and things have gone very well this year, and we've worked very well together. There's also the likes of Fred Davis that's even come in last week and played in the cup game. His enthusiasm alone is infectious, and it's been great. And there's Paddy Costello as well, that's been here, I think, about 900 years, and for him to win something and to be involved in hopefully winning something, it's great for them, really. And obviously our chairman and Ollie Bourne. So it goes right down the line, but the backroom staff have been excellent, very supportive and very, very helpful. Probably most of all, I suppose, the supporters, because they have been tremendous this year. They've embarrassed me a little bit at times by singing sometimes, but they've been absolutely brilliant, and I'm delighted for them most of all, because they waited a long, long time for anything, and they've been very, very supportive. And also, apart from that, I think they're a nice type of supporter, which helps, and I'm delighted for them.
Shell's loyal band of followers have made the journey to Oriel Park, many of them obviously too young to remember the club's last triumph in the league, which was back in 1962. Wearing the number 10 jersey then was the colourful Ben Hannigan. Now it's Gary Haylock, the club's leading goal scorer, with 14 goals to his credit. And the goals have started again for Dundalk's Tom McNulty. He struck 2 against Derry last Sunday to rekindle the club's UEFA Cup ambitions. The team news shows Dundalk with a fresh-looking midfield in which the former Shamrock Rovers player Ricky McAvoy teams up with Gino Lawless, while youth gets a look in the figures of Paul Brady and Brendan O'Callaghan. Shells certainly look a potent force, with Bobby Brown back in from the start on this occasion in place of Greg Costello, and with Desi Gorman linking up with Forig Dully in the striking line, Haylock may well take up a wider berth in midfield in what is a very formidable lineup. And in charge of this match this afternoon is Mr. Brendan Short from Kildare. And so it's Shelbourne who get the match underway. Anto Whelan putting the ball out of play. Done once again, back by Coyle. It's Brady. Coyle, flag has stayed down. Howlett with the cross towards Mark Rutherford. Haylock, the player who fell on the ground. And the referee has whistled for a free kick to Shelbourne, with Rutherford down injured. This is the incident that led up to that free kick. Gino Lawless coming in with what the referee considered a very high challenge. This one by Howlett. Now Gorman. And certainly Shells look far more impressive when they bring a bit of width into their play. And this is Rutherford doing exactly that. Good looking cross. Comes down for Brown, and he's put Shells in front after 9 minutes. Bobby Brown's 3rd goal of the campaign. The first real threat to the Dundalk goal. And it's Rutherford with that inch-perfect cross. There were a number of players, 4 in all, to aim at. And Brown managed to squeeze it inside the near post. Well, now Dundalk, of course, with ambitions of their own to get into Europe next year on the counter burst. That's well struck by Hanrahan. After a largely forgettable opening 8 minutes to this game, it certainly has taken on new life. Mark Rutherford engineered the score with a delicate cross, initially headed on and won by Brown and dispatched with ease. Call, turned towards O'Callaghan. Howlett down for Brown, on towards Desi Gorman, who got a little nick onto the cross from Rutherford that set up the goal for Bobby Brown. Oh, a heavy challenge, and the referee going across. And the yellow card is dispatched there to James Call. The tough Scot, just exceeding the rules. This was the challenge as Desi Gorman, and it was a sliding tackle. Derek O'Connor there, issuing the instructions, second from left. Referee going across to his linesman. And the player who's attracted his attention is James Collins. He's already had a yellow card, and it's a red, and Dundalk are sensationally down to 10 men after only 14 minutes play. Well, he was on the yellow for the two-footed tackle on Desi Gorman a little while ago, and now he's got his marching orders. Well, something that clearly happened, and in his frustration, Paul may well have said something. The linesman brought it to the referee's attention. The applause is generous, but Dundalk find themselves reduced to 10. Oh, he showed far too much of that to Rutherford. And this is Desi Gorman, he's got Dolly as well. Well, the referee says that he wasn't taken down, but it was a fair challenge by Gino Lawless. And in fairness to Desi Gorman, he didn't make a meal out of it. Jim McLaughlin there alongside Pat Byrne. McLaughlin has had so much success with so many of his clubs. Won firmly by Andrew Whelan. Intervention by Brady. Rutherford played back in by Dunn. It's Tony McCarthy with a headed clearance down as far as the feet of Rutherford. Towards Gorman. Just ahead of Murphy. Angle getting a bit tight for him. And he couldn't turn it back, where Jolly had taken up a good position. So much of the threat has come from Desi Gorman. And when Rutherford gets involved, either on the wing or through the middle, his perceptive passes usually produce chances. This one went to begging, however. Howlett finding Bobby Brown. Curled across towards Mark Rutherford's head, and he injured Purdy as he was challenging that one. And Eddie Van Boxtel, the goalkeeper's come out straight away, feeling that the referee might well take a card from his packet and perhaps issue a yellow against Mark Rutherford. It was an inviting cross by Bobby Brown with a number of players to aim at, and watch as Rutherford used the elbow and upended Purdy. McAvoy back heading, almost putting his defence in some trouble. Brown curling inside for Haylock. Well, hasn't figured very much in Shell's play so far today. Rutherford has, however, skipping by the challenge, firing in the shot, but it was always going wide of Van Boxtel's goal. Got a knock in the process. McCarthy. Haylock. To the recovered Porrick Dolly. Bobby Brown's available. It's Howlett to the feet of Haylock. Howlett again. That's a lovely shot. It's going to be a goal kick. The referee deciding that the goalkeeper didn't get a touch onto it. But the best of the football has clearly come from the Dubliners. It was a lovely 1-2 between Howlett and Haylock, and returned edge of the penalty area, crisp shot, and indeed the goalkeeper, referee quite right, keeper didn't get a touch in it. Brady poking it forward to Ricky McAvoy. Two players to aim at just ahead of him. One of them is Hanrahan. Nice return. McAvoy sizing up the possibilities. Teeing it up for Dunn. Hanrahan. Neat, close football by Dundalk. So good on the counter-attack. Lovely, attractive passing movement, but it failed to produce a final telling shot. Neville. Some room to do something here for Shelbourne. Brown wanting Haylock in an overlap. He's got Haylock, and he's got Dolly rather inside, waiting for it. This is O'Callaghan. Fed outside to Bobby Brown. 6 minutes remaining in the first half. Didn't really trouble the Dundalk goalkeeper. He's certainly looking to boost his goals tally. Still, Flood and Roach continue to prepare, just in case they're needed. Hey, look. Howlett. Seemed like a high challenge. Referee indicting Paul Brady. Played to Brown. Tormenting Dunn. Howlett again to the curl one. That's a great save. Magnificent save by Eddie Van Boxtel. Well, Howlett has certainly been causing some problems. 2 goals in his last 3 games, and it was Brown who fed the ball back to him outside the penalty area. He cracked onto it, whipped it in, and the goalkeeper was equal to it. Final piece of action from a first half which was largely dominated by Shelbourne. The only goal coming after 9 minutes. Bobby Brown, the goal scorer. And the other major piece of news, of course, the dismissal of James Call after 14 minutes. So it's Shells with the full complement to lead Dundalk down to 10 men at half-time by 1-0. Half-time score, Dundalk 0, Shells 1. We'll be back after this break. Very welcome back to Sunday Sports Special from Oriel Park in Dundalk. Brendan Short getting ready to set the second half in motion. Remember, Shelbourne bidding for a first league title in 30 years. And all they need from this game is a point. At the moment, if the scoreline remains thus, they'll have 2. That's Tony McCarthy. Desi Foreman. Touchdown for Howlett. Rutherford beaten by a solid challenge from Purdy. Call heading his side into some difficulty as Haylock comes onto it. Don trying to put in a challenge. Forced out by Gino Lawless. Hanrahan taking that return from Ricky McAvoy. Down as far as McNulty, however. Whereas McNulty remained wide on the right touchline in the first half, he's come much more into the centre in the early stages of this second period. McAvoy played forward by Dunn. Now O'Callaghan doing well as the goalkeeper came out, and Anto Whelan preventing a certain goal. This real threat to the Shells defence in the second half. They've been sitting pretty. Brady linking up with Dunn, or with McAvoy rather. Now Hanrahan. Curled back towards Brady again. That's done. Well, they've had a number of shots at Jody Byrne's target, and Byrne is injured as he came out for that ball with 2 of his defenders coming to his assistance, and O'Callaghan, the one who was in there, trying to squeeze it past him. So Turlock O'Connor watching on. Pat Byrne there in the centre of the Shells dugout. Jim McLaughlin promised that he wouldn't take out the fags at any stage during this match, but we saw him breaking that little promise. Obviously a tense and nervous afternoon to watch. Oh, that's a great goal by O'Callaghan! Well, Shelbourne might have looked a bit edgy on the bench. Oh, that's a goal out of the top drawer, as they say. Brendan O'Callaghan, 9 minutes of the second half gone. Jody Byrne beaten. Beautifully fed inside, killed by O'Callaghan, did it all on his own. Defence stayed back, and that's a magnificent strike. 1-1 at Oriel Park. This was brilliantly set up by Brendan O'Callaghan. Anto Whelan stayed back, didn't put in the challenge, but that is a superb goal. The Shells singing has gone strangely silent in the last few minutes. Dunn just carrying that one too far. Hanrahan. The approach Dundalk seem to be taking for the second half is to push men forward in the hunt for the equaliser. That may leave gaps at the back, however, which Shells may be able to exploit. This is Gorman. Pushed out by Byrne. Howlett raiding. Good tackle by Dunn. Turned in by Gino Lawless again. Now McAvoy. Opportunity to carry the ball forward. The flag stays down. McNulty in the clear. Chance of a second one. That's a penalty, surely. I'll let him run. Murphy, he was allowed an advantage. That's an interesting one. The referee surely would have awarded a penalty as Byrne took down McNulty. I'm sure the referee let it run on for Murphy to hit. McNulty can't believe it, but I think there was an advantage permitted. First of all, it's interesting that the flag stayed down. McNulty looked offside. Now this looked a penalty. If he allowed the advantage, Murphy perhaps should have composed himself a bit more. He's missed a glorious chance. Ricky McAvoy to curl one in. Byrne was under with his own player, Dully. It's Hanrahan with the header. It goes off the post. And shells it a dither at the back. McNulty again. Played in by Brady, and it's well stopped by Jody Byrne. What a much better second half this is turning out to be. Well, Dundalk very nearly getting themselves a lead goal. The goalkeeper and Dully conspired to fumble this one essentially, and watch for Hanrahan's header coming down off the underside of the post, and there was still a chance there as it went spinning around the place. McNulty turned it back there, and the goalkeeper made a very good save. Mark Rutherford, who didn't make an impression in the second half, and it's Brian Flood who comes into the action.
Number 12, Brian Flood, replacing number 11, Mark Rutherford.
Collett. Now Haylock. Murphy gathering. Brian Flood pushing forward. Trying to chip it over the defence. Desi Gorman taking up a wide position. Curled across. Brown coming in. All seemed to just hold up. It didn't quite reach him. And in the end, Dunn puts it away to safety. Bobby Brown. Aimed towards Dully, won instead by Gino Lawless. That ball was well attacked. Hey, look, it's a great goal by Dully. It's a super goal by Dully. Well, they might cheer. Shells go back in front again. 24 minutes gone in the second half. That was well attacked by Coyle. Played wide across towards Gary Haylock. Had the presence of mind then to curl it back invitingly for Dully to head forward his 11th goal of the season. Well, Dully will hardly get a more important goal in the campaign. Haylock may well have been offside indeed, but the linesman didn't flag, and that's what matters. Gorman. Now McAvoy, as the defending champions trail what may well be the champions-elect. Hanrahan. Well, referee says no penalty. And Tony McCarthy went across to Hanrahan fairly quickly to point out that in his view it was a perfectly fair, if somewhat solid challenge. Well, did Hanrahan make a meal of this one, I wonder? That's McCarthy going for the ball certainly, but he did connect with Hanrahan. But the intention was not to take down the striker. That's in towards the substitute Terry Everston, runs on towards O'Callaghan. McAvoy trying to set one up here. This is Purdy. Well, the earlier parts of that attack carried a great deal more threat to the Shelbourne goal. Murphy. And back by Bobby Brown. Now Flood. Space opening up just ahead of him as Dundalk commit men forward. Oh, it's well struck and it's a great goal! That's a superb goal by Brian Flood. Oh, well they might celebrate. That absolutely ensures, I think, that the league pennant will go to Tolka Park. It's as good a goal as you could hope to see. Dundalk allowed him the latitude to strike it from way outside the penalty area. It swerved viciously, and Van Boxtel's big knoll ends up 3-1 to the Reds. Well, Flood came on as a sub, and he's certainly enjoying his afternoon. So now, is there any Dundalk response to that? McNulty carrying it right across the middle of the park. Dolly remonstrating that he was the one who was injured, and it's Dolly now against McNulty and exchanging angry gestures. Referee not allowing an advantage to Dundalk after Peter Hanrahan seemed to have won that fairly well. Still talking about it. McNulty, of course, who got the win goal, the lead goal in Cork last year that ensured Dundalk's championship. And now on their own patch of ground here at Oriel Park, they look like relinquishing their title to the Reds.
Now the presentation of the league championship trophy will be made immediately after the game in front of the stand.
That's swept in, and all was going up and over. At the moment they're down to 9 players. McAvoy's walked off. Cavan hasn't yet come on. And this is really looking quite disorganised. McCarthy. They're waiting for a break in the play. This is amazing. They're waiting for a break in the play. It's just as well it's 3-1. Well, he's come on now, McCavan. He wasn't quite sure whether he was supposed to come on or not. The referee now holding up the play, going across to the linesman. And the linesman, you see, didn't allow the substitute to come on. He's got a yellow card for that. Well, McCavan picks up a yellow card in the strangest possible sense. Dolly's making his way off in order to allow the second substitute, who was Declan Roach, to come on. Well, he picked up the yellow, he's got a smile on his face, and Fred Davis in the background there congratulating Pádraig Dolly on a fine display. Whelan, touch back in towards Roach. Oh, another one, is it? No, just over. Oh, they were looking for their fourth. Watch for Roach, who wasn't too far away at all after Gorman won the header in the air. Just went over the top of the crossbar. Now Neville. Roach, gonna set one up here for Gary Howlett. Roach once again looking for number 4, and it's going to be a goal kick. So very near to being number 4. Well, he might have 2 goals now in this match, the substitute. Lovely interpassing. Howlett pushed it forward firmly into the penalty area where Roach had made a run and just skipped over the goalkeeper's hands. It's all over, and Shelbourne are the new League of Ireland champions. A sparkling display all season, culminating in 3 goals here at Oriel Park. Pat Byrne can celebrate the Reds' first triumph since 1962. It's been a long time coming. Anto Whelan and the rest can celebrate because here at Oriel Park they've not just got 1, they've got the 2 points they required. They're giving the radio interviews. They can celebrate. What a great goal that was by Flood. And the final score here at Oriel Park was Dundalk 1, Shelbourne 3.
A good ball in for Mark on the left-hand side. I just got in on the end of it, the far post. It's lucky enough, you know, but we deserve this anyway. 30 years is a long time.
That's one by Howlett. Now Gorman. And certainly Shells look far more impressive when they bring a bit of width into their play. And this is Rutherford doing exactly that. Good looking cross. Comes down for Brown. And he's put Shells in front after 9 minutes.
Well, the ball was not forward and Gary Haylock swung it across. I actually just went ahead it. I just saw it go down. I'm delighted with it.
Bobby Brown. Aimed towards Dolly, won instead by Gino Lawless. That ball was well attacked. Hey, look, it's a great goal by Dolly. It's a super goal by Dolly.
I think we got on Nick Neville. I'm now left foot, so go inside. Just hit it. Play in.
Murphy. And back by Bobby Brown. Now Flood. Space opening up just ahead of him as Dundalk commit men forward. Oh, it's well struck and it's a great goal! That's a superb goal by Brian Flood. Oh, well they might celebrate. That absolutely ensures, I think, that the league pennant will go to Tolka Park.
He said at the start of the year he wouldn't drink until he won something. So now he can drink as much as he likes.
I didn't think it'd be so long, but...
Thank you very much. I'm not good at this. I'm not good.
Was that just another victory or was it special?
Well, they're all special. I mean, the boys have done it 33 matches. Well, 2 more to go, 31 matches and they're champions. And you have to hold him as a smashing team. But behind the scenes, they have everything. And it's just great to see Ollie Byrne and the people like that. 30 years with nothing. And now 30 years the championship. What else can you say?
I finally thank our friend Paul Guard for his generous sponsorship. I now call on Mr. Jimmy Farrell and Paul Guard to present a league trophy to Nick Neville, captain of Shelbourne.
And all the downers! All the downers! Yes, all the downers! Pat, tell me about this. Tell me about the setup. Tell me about the whole setup.
This is as regards
winning. How did you set out to do it at the beginning of the year?
Well, I think people see today. You play the right type of football. You get the right type of players. And you get the right type of people around you. So if you have the right type of people, if you have that sort of formula, you've always got a chance. And this man here, Mr. Donnelly, is one of the main people responsible for that. Supporters here, it's great. And I'd just like to toast them, actually. I think they've been absolutely fantastic.
A champagne day for Shelbourne, eh?
A champagne day for Shelbourne, but for us as players, it's great. But for those people, I think they're fantastic. And this man here, who's come and took a chance with us and has been fabulous with us. And he has kept his club right. From the start, he's come in and it's been great for us.
Are you going to paint the town red or white tonight?
A bit of both. A bit of both. I have to keep an eye on him. He hasn't had a drink since he said at the start of the year he wouldn't drink until he won something. So now he can drink as much as he likes.
I didn't think it'd be so long, but...
Thank you very much. I'm not good at this. I'm not good.
It'll be a very special day for you, is it?
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I've just been answering people there. People say, what's it like to win with Shelbourne? I think this year is the hardest league to win. There's no doubt. I mean, it's gone right up to the last 2 matches. And we needed to win here. I think we won it in style today.
So, how many years have you been with the club?
This was 2nd year only. 2nd year.
Tell me about this man here. He should have been playing today, should he?
Yeah, I tell you himself. Tell him what happened to you.
I just hurt my knee against Bowes there in the cup during the week, so ruled out for the rest of the season. Yeah. Unfortunately, I missed today. Cheers. Look at me tie.
Don't worry about your tie.
It's a great occasion for the club. It's also a very sad occasion because there's many great Shelbourne people who unfortunately...
Ollie, this has been a long time coming.
It has. It's been too long, and it's a great occasion for us. It's all down to this gentleman here, the chairman, Tony Donnelly, and the players. It's their occasion. but it's also a sad occasion for us because many great Shelbourne people have passed away recently. We're sorry Jerry Doyle is not here with us today, but I'm sure he's here in spirit.
And if his wife, if Jerry's wife is listening, congratulations to us all and wish her the best of luck, and thank you for Jerry.
Well, you played some sparkling football all down through the season. You didn't just win it today, you won it over your consistency, surely.
That would be correct. The players have done a marvellous job, so has the backroom staff, Pat, Jim, Paddy Costello, Freddie Davis. Everyone connected with the club has worked hard. It's been a complete team effort under the shrewd guidance and direction of our chairman here, Tony Donnelly.
Well, between the two of you, Shells, I suppose, have had to live on memories for the last 30 years. The Ben Hannigans and Freddie Strachan and so on. I remember those days. Now they've got new heroes.
Yes, well, and we'll make new memories too in the next year or two.
The one guaranteed thing is to all the people of Dublin who support Shelbourne Football Club, and there's a great traditional support in Dublin for Shelbourne. This club will never stoop to the depths of which it has been in the past.
Of course, you've got a stadium to match your ambitions now as well.
Well, it's like a dream come true. What can I say beside this man? You know,
we have a stadium. There's a lot of things to be done yet, but when we did so much, we'll be able to do the rest, I think.
That's what we have to say.
The fact that you had to come to the defending champions' home to snatch the championship, with some games still in hand, of course, that must give you extra pleasure.
Well, the first game we played it down here. We beat them 5-1. So I think it's only appropriate that we should come here today and beat them 3-1 on the last day. I regret that we have to beat Dundalk because it means a lot to them too. They were looking forward to the Youth Cup, and I am sorry that I am part of putting them out of it. But that is sport and that's football. You have to take the good days with the bad days, and there's plenty of bad days, and you must make the most of the good days.
We'll congratulate you both and let you get on with the champagne.
Thank you
thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Very much.
Shelbourne Sport is the best.